everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, my name is Rihanna and I make videos all about my life, my career, and just everything like that, my travels especially because I love to document those. So if you saw my Puerto Rico video, which did very well, so many people watched it and I was so thankful and excited because I spent hours and hours and days editing that video because I wanted it to be so great. So thank you for the positive feedback. I'm so glad everybody loved it. Now I'm going to do a price breakdown of my Puerto Rico trip because everybody wanted this. A lot of people were asking for it and messaging me with questions and things. So I'm going to do a price breakdown for the whole 7 days and tell you how much my entire trip cost. Before I get started into this video, before I get the comments, you look tired, I do look tired because I am tired and I'm sick. And I wanted to make this video because I feel like I'm going to lose my voice and I wanted to post it this Sunday and I didn't want to get sick and lose my voice before I made the video because then you'd have to hear me sounding really crazy. Okay, let's get into the price stuff. So first things first, we had to actually get to Puerto Rico somehow. So we flew from Columbus, Ohio. I live in West Virginia right now. So we drove to Columbus, parked our car at the airport, which was $5 a day, and we parked for 7.5 days. So it cost $40, and then we got on a plane with Spirit Airlines and flew. Our tickets were $600 total, so it was $300 round trip each for the tickets, and Spirit Airlines is like the minimalist airline, so we didn't get like luggage or anything like that included. They don't give you drinks on the plane, but it's exactly what you need just to go on a quick 5-hour flight. They don't include carry-ons. We usually travel with carry-on backpacks, but since they didn't, we actually just ended up checking a bag and sharing it, and that was $35 each way, so that was $70 total. Then we got to Puerto Rico. It was beautiful, it was warm, it was so nice, and we ended up getting a rental car from Budget Rentals at the airport in Puerto Rico. Now, we could have went with a cheaper rental company, but it was only a little bit cheaper and they had pretty bad reviews about some of the other companies. So we went with a main company that had a good name that we knew wouldn't try to like get over on us or rip us off for any extra money. So we went with Budget Rentals. They had great reviews. It was awesome. Nothing bad happened. And we paid $200 for the car for 1 week, but we ended up paying $230 total because every time you go through tolls, they just charge it to your card and they tell you about it later. We did know about that ahead of time. They told us every time you go through a toll, we're just gonna kind of add it up and tell you when you're done. So we were expecting that charge. Since we're talking about the rental car, I'll tell you how much we spent on gas. We spent about $45, $50 on gas total for the trip. Driving around Puerto Rico and all that stuff. We filled up the gas tank twice. They charge liters in Puerto Rico for gas, so I don't really know like exactly how to transfer that to gallons, but basically every time we filled up the tank it was like $20-something because we had a car that was good on gas, so that worked out well. We did drive around a ton, so if you're not planning on doing a bunch of driving, you probably won't spend as much on gas as we did. We took our nice little rental car. It was actually the economy version, but they upgraded us to the sedan because they saw that we had B with us, so it was really nice of the guy at the counter. We took our little rental car and we went to our Airbnb, which was in Loaiza, Puerto Rico. It was about 45 minutes from San Juan where we flew into, and it was at Aquaquita Resort. It was absolutely beautiful, perfect. The resort wasn't crowded. It was on a beach. It had a pool, a heated pool, a hot tub, everything we could have wanted. It had a playground for B. The hosts were awesome. So that cost $1,250, $1,250 for the 7 days, and that was a little bit of a splurge. We usually don't stay places as nice as that, but we absolutely loved this apartment. It had a full kitchen, so that saved us a lot on eating out. It had 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. We loved it. It was well worth the money. Before I move any further, I just wanted to add, I'm gonna put links in the description of like where we stayed, what rental car agency we used, where we flew from, stuff like that, just so you guys can use it if you want, because I've gotten a lot of questions about that stuff. These are not affiliate links. I don't get commission from them. I'm just sharing them with you to help make your trip a little bit easier, and hopefully it does. We spent about $300 on food. So we went grocery shopping the first day we got there at the Walmart Supercenter, which is located near Loaiza, like about 15 minutes away. And then we also went out to eat a few times at Degree 18, which is amazing smoothie and juice bar. We ate at a few other smoothie and juice bars too. And we ate out dinner once, but we didn't really eat out that much at all, mostly just snacks and fruit stands and stuff. Looking back, we bought more groceries than we used. We probably could have bought less groceries. We definitely could have actually, but we left them all for either the hosts or the next people that stay to use, so we didn't waste the food or anything, but we did go a little crazy. Bought a little too much food, probably because we were there at like 9 at night and we were starving and we had just flown in. So maybe buy a little less food, and then if you need to go back to the store, do that instead of over shopping if you want to save money. One of the most fun things we did was drive around the whole island. So that was like a really cool drive. It was a circle drive. We did it in 2 nights. So we drove the south side, stayed in an Airbnb in Rincon, and then we went all the way around the north side and back to San Juan again, and then back to Loaiza, back to our Airbnb. So we spent $76 on the Airbnb in Rincon. That was the cheapest Airbnb we could find. We did book it really last minute, so there might be cheaper ones or cheaper hotels, but this one was really great. It had the necessities, it had air conditioning, it was clean, it was in a good location. That's all we cared about. We really just slept there, woke up, and left. Now that trip was basically free. We did pay for food and gas, which I incorporated into the food and gas totals that I already told you. And the other thing that we did pay for was we went to Cueva del Indio, which is an amazing cave, and it has ancient writing inside of it. And then there's a big arch there too. And that was $5 a person to enter and do the hike and go in the cave and all that stuff. We didn't go on a tour, but it's $5 just to get on the property because I guess somebody owns the property, so they have a little table in the front. So we paid $5 each for that. That was $10 total. They let B go for free. Super nice of them because she's a baby, so we were carrying her. They just said she could go on in. And that was really cheap, well worth the $10. I would have paid it again to go there. Another day trip we took was to El Yunque National Forest, and that was actually free because there's nobody at the booth to pay when we went in or when we left, so we couldn't pay. So that was free. I don't know how much it was supposed to be, but we got to go in there for free. We did some really cool hikes that were free, saw some amazing waterfalls. That was just a super awesome day. And also near El Yunque is a thing called Charco de Frio, and that is a waterfall with a rope swing and rocks you can jump off and everything. And this nice man owns it. He's an older gentleman, and he charges $15 for you to go in, park your car. Actually, I think it was 10. It was 10 or 15. I'm gonna say 15 just for estimating purposes of price. But he lets you in his gate, he tells you all about the safety and everything, and then he shows you where the hike is and lets you go back and use his property. That was well worth the price. He was awesome. He also gave you changing room and places to wash all the mud off your clothes when you were done. I highly recommend doing that, especially if you're a thrill seeker, because there's really cool water slide that goes down the waterfall, amazing cliff jumps, a cool rope swing. It was just a great experience. Now, the last thing that we did that cost money was we went on a day trip to Culebra, which is a beautiful island. And what we did was we booked our ferry tickets online ahead of time before we went to Culebra. It costs more, so it costs $4 if you book them at the terminal, but we paid $25 to book them online just because we heard a lot of things about it selling out and not being reliable. So we wanted to make sure we went there because it was a time crunch for us and we were kind of on our last day when we went. So the ferry tickets were $25. It cost $7 to park in their parking lot. We went over to Culebra, we rented a golf cart so we could tour the island for the day. That was $35. And it was supposed to be returned with full gas tank, but really the island's so small, we didn't even use any gas and it was still on full when we returned it, so we didn't have to pay for any gas. We also went to Flamenco Beach, which is one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. It's been rated that several times. So we went there and that cost $4 to enter with our golf cart. And once you enter, you get a wristband so you can go in and out all day. So it's $4 one time. The rest of the stuff we did there was free. We went to Gran Tamarindo Beach. That was free. It was so awesome. We did an amazing hike there. We went snorkeling for free because we brought our own snorkel gear. So that's just some of the stuff we do to stay on a budget, is like we bring our own gear and try and find free cool stuff to do outside. The ferry was round trip, so it was just that $25, which is like $12.50 each. It was just that one fee. So really, that's it. That's all the money we spent in Puerto Rico. I'm gonna total it up for you on the screen here so you can see everything laid out. In total, we spent $2,706. So I'm just gonna say about $2,700 for 7 days in Puerto Rico. We were on a budget, kind of. We wanted to stay under $3,000, but we weren't hardcore budgeting like we normally do when we travel. We really splurged on the Airbnb. We splurged on food a bit. So you really could go for a lot less. I would say you could go for closer to $1,000 to $1,500, even probably less than $1,000 if you're really frugal on your trip. And you get cheaper accommodations, spend less on food, don't rent a car. If you just stay in San Juan, you don't need to rent a car. So you could go to Puerto Rico for really cheap. But to have a nice family vacation without any worries about like every dollar we're spending, we spent $2,700. We came in under budget. It was an amazing trip, worth every dollar. I highly recommend you go if you get the chance. I hope you found this video helpful. Remember that there will be those links in the description if you're wondering where we rented our car, where we stayed, and stuff like that. I'll also link Cueva del Indio, where we booked our ferry to Culebra, at Flamenco Beach and things like that, so you guys can see all that. If you have any questions, leave them below. I will answer those for you if you need any help with your trip planning. Please ask the questions publicly on this channel instead of DMing me, unless it's something very private, but people really benefit from seeing your questions and your answers because I answer the questions in detail and then they don't have to ask the same question again or wonder what the answer might be. All right, that is it for the price breakdown of Puerto Rico. I hope it helps you plan your trip and stick to your budget and have an amazing vacation. As always, I hope you guys have an amazing week and I will see you next week.